We have already uh, discussed the topic related to the climate change in climate change part one. So we will continue that topic and uh, proceeding forward. कहाँ तक हो गया था? आई थिंक ये सारी चीज़ें हो गई थी. कॉजेज ऑफ पॉज हो गया था. कॉजेज ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज. लॉन्ग टर्म क्लाइमेट चेंज. अगर लॉन्ग टर्म क्लाइमेट चेंज की बात करें तो 250 मिलियन ईयर्स एगो world's land masses were joined together and formed a supercontinent termed Pangaea. As today's continents drifted apart, they moved into different latitudes, altered prevailing winds and ocean currents. Now, if we talk about the heading our changing climate, and definitely the various type of power plants are placed over here and there, and everywhere the power generation work is at that peak. और आज के समय में एनर्जी की डिमांड इतनी बढ़ रही है कि हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, पावर प्लांट वगैरह इंस्टॉल करने पड़ेंगे. और नहीं करेंगे तो हमारी एनर्जी की डिमांड फुलफिल नहीं हो पाएगी. ठीक है. तो कुछ गैसेस ड्यूरिंग द power generation or production during the some particular type of processes जिसमें कि जनरेशन होता है पावर और वेरियस टाइप ऑफ एनर्जीज. तो उसमें क्या होता है, कुछ हार्मफुल गैसेस जो कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं, जैसे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, NO2 एक्सेट्रा. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि क्लाइमेट चेंज होती है. ठीक है. और इन पर्टिकुलर सरफेस टेम्परेचर क्या करना है, इंक्रीज़ करता है. जैसे 1998 से 2005 से 2005 में 1998 में सबसे वार्मेस्ट ईयर रिकॉर्ड किया गया इन द पास्ट 400 ईयर. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि अब अगर हम फोरकास्ट करें चीज़ों को आगे लॉन्ग टर्म में देखें तो आगे एक समय आने वाला जब टेम्परेचर काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा. तो here you can see a graph in between the anomaly relative to the 1961 to 90 temperature variation 61 से 90 तक का है. और 1880 में यहाँ पर टेम्परेचर कहीं एडजस्ट करता था. फिर ये ब्लू वाली लाइन देखो बढ़ रहा है. आज में 2000 से अगर ऊपर बात करें तो ये 0.4 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड के ऊपर पहुँच गया. तो एवरेज टेम्परेचर जो सरफेस का है वो धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है. दिस इज़ नॉट अ इजी टॉक, इसमें भी वेरी सीरियस. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द ग्लोबल मीन टेम्परेचर फ्रॉम दिस डायग्राम यू कैन सी the global mean temperature are rising faster with time. Global mean temperature. The global mean temperature difference is the degree centigrade from 1961 to 90. This temperature goes in forward direction and this value increases again and again. This black line represents linear trends. This is the value of annual mean. This is 5 to 95% decadal error. The overall Dorian representation is that कि क्या हो रहा है, समय के हिसाब से क्या करना है, टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है. ठीक है. पीरियोडिक रेट देखो टेम्परेचर का 150 सालों में किस पॉजिटिव फ्लो के साथ कितना ज़्यादा बढ़ा है. केवल 50 साल. आगे के 50 साल बाद कितना टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा सोच सकते हो. ये 25 ईयर्स के बीच का रेट है, 50 ईयर्स के बीच का है, 100 ईयर्स, 150, 25 साल वाला देख लो. रेट कितना जाता है, दिन पे दिन रेट बढ़ते ही जा रहा है। ऐसे ही हुआ, ऐसे ही रेट बढ़ते रहा तो ये वैल्यू इतनी ज़्यादा बढ़ेगी कि 10 साल में सबसे ज़्यादा है। ठीक। वार्मेस्ट 12 ईयर्स, अगर 2000 तक में यहाँ पे सारे वैल्यूज हम देखेंगे, सबसे वार्मेस्ट ईयर कौन कौन से, 1998, 2005, 2003, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2001, 1997, 1995, 1999, 1990 and 2000. These years are those years where the temperature is always at its high value. एवरेज टेम्परेचर हमेशा इन ईयर में सबसे ज़्यादा रिकॉर्ड किया गया, विगत 400 साल। ठीक है। ओके, this slides is also related to the topic our changing climate. आर्कटिक एज यहाँ पे एक नाम लेंगे आर्कटिक सी का। Arctic is warming faster than most other regions, largely as predicted by climate models. This raises questions about ice melts and sea level. क्या हो रहा है कि आर्कटिक रीजन की अगर हम बात करें, वहाँ पे ग्लोबल मीन टेम्परेचर जो है 0.54, इतना 2001 से 2005 में बढ़ा है। तो इससे खतरा बढ़ते जा रहा है आइस मेल्टिंग का। अगर आइस मेल्टिंग आएगा तो इसमें ऐसा आएगा कि हर तरफ पानी पानी हो जाएगा दैट रीजन में। अब अगर चेंजिंग क्लाइमेट में की क्वेश्चंस की बात करें तो कौन कौन से क्वेश्चन हो सकते हैं, देखते हैं। पहला क्वेश्चन, क्लाइमेट modelers have predicted the Earth's surface will warm because of man-made greenhouse gas emissions. Then, so how much of warming is man-made? How serious are the problems this is creating? What, if anything, can and should we do? Natural greenhouse effects for the clear sky. This pie diagram you can see over here. This pie diagram having 4 segments. A segment is blue colored, and the blue colored segments is related to the water vapor. And then after the blue colored segment, the green colored segment is over here. And after the green colored segment, the red color segment is over here. After the red color, the orange colored segment is over here. From blue to orange, the angle subtended by the segments are decreasing. And if you talk about the more angle subtended by a segment, then that segment is related to the water vapor. And the water vapor is 60% is over here. And after that, the carbon dioxide having a proportion of 26%, and this 26% is related to the carbon dioxide. And 8% is related to the ozone, and CH4 and 2 is having a percentage that is 6% for the methane and nitrous oxides. Clouds also have a greenhouse effect. So these are the percentage that is I think this is too clear. This is clear to all. Our changing climate increasing the CO2 concentrations. जो हमारा क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है उसमें क्या हो रहा है, CO2 का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बढ़ रहा है। CO2 का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बढ़ा तो उससे क्या है, क्योंकि हमको पता है कि CO2 जो है that gas is very much responsible for the global warming effect. The CO2 is that type of gas that restricts that provides the restriction to the sunlight the way to reflect back from the earth to sun. The two most important greenhouse gases, that is CO2, I think, and nitrous oxide होना चाहिए. H2O is wrong one. When in modifying the CO2 concentration via burning fossil fuels, CO2 concentration are higher than any time in the last 4 lakh years. The predictions are for CO2 concentration to continue increasing up to 1.5 to 3 times present value by 21. Now, changing CO2 concentration. CO2 concentration have varied naturally by a factor over the past few hundred thousand years. The fossil fuel burning since the Industrial Revolution has created a sharp increase in CO2 concentration. The CO2 concentration are now higher than at any time in past 200,000 years. The concentration are increasing faster with time. From this diagram, you can see for the CO2 concentration for the last 4 cycles, 4 lakh years, and this CO2 concentration diagram is towards the man-made region. This is where you are existing. From this diagram, you can see graphical representation for the changing atmospheric composition, that is CO2. If we proceed from 1960 to 2000s, and concentration parts per million increases. Increasing CO2 concentration, how high will they go? Okay. If we talk about the increment of CO2 composition in atmosphere, so this is also an important diagram for that perception. How high will they go? How warm will it get? Now, as we proceed further from 1980 to 2100 century, then in this way, the data will go in ascending order. Now, here you can see a diagram that is global energy flow through atmosphere. What happens? Incoming solar radiations, uh, the radiations having a numeric value that is 342 watt per meter square, and this numeric value proceeds further, and this distributes in the two way. 168 portion is absorbed by the surface, and 77% is reflected by the cloud and atmosphere, and then this value is reflected by the surface, where is the value 30, and total 107 amount of reflected solar radiation is reflected back to the sun. It is absorbed by the atmosphere. This is a latent heat. A thermal evaporation process takes place, and this is surface radiation, and this value absorbed by the surface. And in this way, the cycle of global energy flow takes place. See a global atom energy balance. In a stable climate, solar energy in as well as infrared radiation are equal to IR out, infrared radiation out, then air out is reduced. Why? Increasing GHG concentration decrease the energy out, so energy input is greater than energy output, and the earth warms. Is it clear? Now the complexity of system, climate system. The climate system involves numerous interrelated components. Now the closer look at climate system, you can see over here. Now here you can see the changes of solar radiation are segmented over here. Now this segment is related to the biomass. This is sea ice, and this represents atmosphere ice coupling. And here the heat exchange process takes place. There is a change of ocean basin shape, salinity, etc. This is the changes of land features, photography, vegetation, etc. The change of atmospheric composition is over here, and these gases are responsible for the global warming. This diagram shows a replica for the feedback mechanism. If we talk about the positive and negative effects, assume that the Earth is warming. The warming leads to more evaporation from ocean, which increases water vapor in atmosphere. More water vapor increases absorption of IR, which strengthens the greenhouse effect. I think many things should be clear to you all, but मैं कुछ key points यहाँ पे बताऊंगा climate change पे. All feedback mechanism operate simultaneously. All feedback mechanism works in both directions. Dominant effect is difficult to predict. Cause and effect is very difficult to prove at the beyond the shadow of a doubt level. Now the key points for the climate change. Proxy data are used to infer the past climate. Data show that the Earth's climate has changed in the past. These are the key points for the explanation of climate change. Is changing now and will continue to change. Now the key question is determining whether recent changes are due to natural causes or man. Key points: climate change. Climate system is very complex, contains hundreds of feedback mechanisms. All feedbacks are not totally understood. थ्री जनरल क्लाइमेट चेंज मैकेनिज्म आपको मैं बता भी चुके पहले, सबसे पहले ही बताए थे. एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल, एटमॉस्फेरिक कंपोजिशन, अर्थ सरफेस. ये तीन जनरल क्लाइमेट चेंज मैकेनिज्म है. पहला एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल, एटमॉस्फेरिक कंपोजिशन, अर्थ सरफेस.